I know you were talking about.
Yeah, but sold out. So I got these grey Mizunos.
Leather or plastic?
Leather.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we'll see when they get here.
Nice.
Come from
China. Forever for you.
fuck.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night. You're back. We're back. It's Tuesday. It's your favorite night of the week. You're in bed. You're cuddled up next to the one you love because you're watching Let 'Em Shoot.
Facts.
There's a bit of ruckus going on today in the studio. Construction.
Think renovations.
Table ladders and chairs match.
Anything's better than that shit that time. That shit was so fucked.
No, that was
Tap. So someone like dropped.
And someone passed away in their bathroom.
Bro, that was tap. What about that shit? What about that time Mitch just went home?
Oh yeah.
So that last filming day.
Mitch is sick.
He just went
Imagine if
home.
YouTube was 8D and you could smell. You guys would have left.
Yeah. You guys would never watch a Let 'Em Shoot episode again.
To my right.
It's boy MJ, Born Africa gang. Blessed to be as always. Enjoying the Euros, you know. It's been interesting.
Interesting.
Very interesting. But we'll get into it.
We will. To my left.
Blame Samuel. I'm here again. Making it consistent at the moment. Hopefully can continue that all the way through to our overseas travels.
To his left.
What is my name? Chaos Kid. You nearly said my first name, Elon.
CK.
I nearly said my first one, Elon. But yeah, elections coming up in America, so make sure you guys vote. I watched the debate. My days.
Fuck,
Biden
yeah.
versus Trump.
When he
Right.
said, "Y'all
He
watching
just
the
based.
debate," when he said that in the chat, I was crying.
Yeah.
It was good. It was so entertaining. I don't know why you guys think that's so weird.
It was.
I thought you were trolling too.
Nah, it was fucking funny.
Like,
Biden.
it's like playoffs. It's like playoffs were on. He said, "You're watching."
Y'all
this.
watching this game.
Oh yeah, it was fucking so
Bro,
funny.
Biden
He said y'all
could
watching
not
this game.
string a sentence together.
He's too old.
He's finished.
Distraught the whole conversation. It was like he had no information.
The most
He's got
tap
system
thing,
lag.
The most tap thing is that those are the only two people that America
Bro,
has to
America's
choose from.
finished.
That's like
Yeah,
picking between.
long time.
Yeah.
That's like picking between. I don't know.
Biden makes Trump look good. That's why.
Yeah. And I would not have thought there would be anybody to do that.
Have you
and
seen the
he
bets
does it.
though?
The bets.
You can bet on who's
Yeah.
gonna win.
Yeah.
Trump's probably paying $1.20 at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he
Well,
is-
he was $3.
Oh, I'll get on
Something.
that. bet. I'll get
It's
on
probably
that.
down
bet.
to like
Yeah, it's probably down
1.05
after they
now.
saw this guy not string one sentence together.
Well, there was a thing. There was a moment where Trump he draked Biden. He did the Drake thing where he fed him a lie,
Oh yeah.
and then Biden snapped on it,
Yeah.
and then he's like, it was a fucking lie. And
In
Biden
in a full debate is
Bro,
crazy.
and
Yeah.
Biden before
In a
that,
political debate.
he was getting emotional. He was like, they didn't fucking do that. Like they didn't do it. And then it's Trump's turn to talk because you gotta like wait. When it's Trump's time to talk, he's like, it was a lie. The whole time was a lie, and I knew you were gonna use it, and it was a lie.
But it could easily just not be a lie. And he's just
No,
saying
it is. It is.
No, I'm
Yeah,
not saying
yeah.
it's not, but he could easily just do
And he's
that.
yeah.
Because it's his turn to talk. They can't say anything until after.
I can't believe it.
Trump looked
But-
like Mandela.
For me, you shouldn't be allowed to be president or prime minister if you're over like 50 years old. I think. I think
Maybe
you should
60,
have to.
maybe
be,
over
nah,
60.
I don't think you should be 60. I think you're too old.
Yeah.
60 is.
60's not that old anymore.
For me, I don't.
People aren't retired yet.
Yeah, I don't think my dad is not even 60. He's 52. Or
Yeah, and he's.
I do
he's
not
young.
think he should be. His
That's not based on.
demographic
That's not
should be
based on
prime
his
minister.
age.
no,
thought you were gonna say I don't-
demographic.
Thought you were
Yeah.
gonna say I don't
Old
think-
people
'Cause they
are already stuck in their ways of
Senile.
thinking.
Yeah, they're
They
stubborn.
can't change. They're already adjusted
but they're
to
not
this
gonna hire-
way of life for 50 years.
They're not. Yeah, they're not.
I think
gonna-
you should be like 38, 40. I think that should be the age. It's like Arteta, manager. You know,
relax.
you don't want Hodgson.
Yeah, but
He's too old.
But you still want.
Hodgson's not going to change his tactics.
But some people like Carlo.
yeah,
Ancelotti.
Carlo. Yeah, it's
There you
a one-off thing.
It's
But
not a
most of the good
Mate, you had
managers.
Wenger.
Alex was good till
You
how
had
old?
Wenger for
No.
so long.
You had Wenger.
Yeah, but he
He
was
couldn't
stuck in
even
his
zip
own
up his
ways. You couldn't
jacket
tell him
anymore.
nothing. You couldn't tell these guys that are old. You can't tell them nothing.
Guardiola's like what 55 now.
Yeah, but he's been managing since like 38.
and he's still changing and he's still
No,
adapting.
no, that's not the same though.
And I think they
Yeah,
don't.
what's
they
Klopp?
can't use their phones and shit.
He'd be like almost 60. I
Yeah,
reckon.
he'd be almost 60
No
now.
way, Klopp is almost 60.
I don't know.
guys.
He's at least,
Fucking
he's at
come
least
on.
50.
He's
over
50 probably.
Nah, I reckon Klopp's 57.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be
He's
close to
57.
60.
Exactly.
Yeah. Almost 60.
Yes, he's almost 60.
Yeah, but he's been managing for like 20 years. He's not prime minister for. He's not becoming prime minister at 57.
Yeah,
He's
but
becoming
they're-
prime minister
They're
at like
politicians for how
40.
long?
40.
They're still politicians for
I just think.
how long? It's not like their first gig in
Which
in-
60?
in-
Name me one
in
60-year-old
politics.
person you know that is open to change. Name me one.
I don't know what that question is.
Ellen DeGeneres.
No, she's not. She's literally not.
What do you mean?
She's not.
She-
And that's a
What
terrible.
is
You don't
that
know
answer?
Ellen as well.
And she can't be 60.
She's well over 60.
She is not. 60.
Ellen, ready? Ellen's 63.
53.
63.
I'll say
66.
No way. I haven't seen her.
She
in
does.
so
She
She's open to
she
change.
uses children's blood
To
keep
Oh,
her
is
age
she?
down.
drinks it.
Allegedly.
Oh, yeah.
And she's
It's
wearing.
got like some hormones.
she's always-
Allegedly.
I think her because she always wears trendy shit.
I would
Like when
she,
chinos
actually
were in.
looks way
When chinos
younger
were
than
in, she used
she
to wear
looks way
chinos.
younger than 66.
She sold herself. For
But I
sure.
haven't seen her face in a while. But she apparently is one of the people that sells children
Yeah, I heard about that.
allegedly.
Is that bad?
Trafficking.
Because you could just get like
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
the blood.
wait.
The
Yeah.
blood. He
okay.
was saying the
I was
blood.
saying-
Jesus Christ.
not the trafficking part.
No, it's really bad, bro.
It's bad, yeah.
Taking blood.
Yeah.
But then
Why
no
would
one
you need,
take blood.
Why would
then.
you need kids' blood for?
You're drinking children's blood.
She's not drinking it.
Yes, she is.
She's injecting it into herself.
Basically.
What's the same? What's the difference?
If you, I'm
You're
saying,
putting
if she just
children's
buys
blood
bags
in-
of kids' blood, is it that bad?
Why would you?
Yeah, it's like
Why would
it's not
kids
that
be-
bad. You
why
know,
would-
Mitch
why
knows
would
what
they
I'm
be
saying.
Taking kids' blood.
So where are they getting the
Yeah.
blood from?
Yeah, why would
There's
kids
no
be
legal
taking
way to
blood?
do that.
Legal way to take blood
From
There
a
is legal-
kid.
There's no legal way to
Said
do
buy
that.
it in bags.
Ah,
And
what's
buy
the
it.
difference between a 12-year-old's blood
Yeah.
and an 18-year-old's? Probably nothing.
He has kicking
One's a
consent
kid.
to it.
Yeah.
Not that much.
It's like getting a tattoo.
Yeah.
You can't get a tattoo at 14.
Yeah, but
You've
it's
got to
just-
be at an
it's-
age where you
No,
can
but I'm saying it's
give
like
your
it's
blood
probably
away.
like this much difference.
What is?
The difference of
So
of
you're
age.
saying a 14-year-old and an 18-year-old can give the same consent. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly not what I'm saying.
Christ,
And the
bud.
smirk on your face
that
before
what
you
you're
said that.
saying?
Jesus
You just finished
Christ.
it.
Is that what he's
Cut
saying?
him.
I don't know if that's what he's saying or not because
For
it sounds
me,
like
I
it.
just believe that you shouldn't be able to be prime minister or president after over 60. I
Yeah,
said 50 before.
I think 60 is that.
I'm saying still
Like,
saying
as in
50.
you can-
Preferably, you have to be under 50 when you start. You can
Yeah.
get over 50 if you continue long
Barack
term.
was like 50, what? 52 or
I don't know what's he now.
Yeah.
That's
I
what-
don't know.
that's
Right
what
now, ready?
But he was like 50 in his 50s
68.
when he became president.
Yeah, and he did hella wars.
He
He
did.
did hella
Yeah.
invasions.
He did.
Did you see
Yeah. So,
Biden? There was a video of
He's
Biden.
62 now.
Yeah,
Obama.
so there you go.
So
And
he
he was
would've been
president in
young.
like 2008.
He would have been young, yeah.
Did you see a video
Yeah.
of Biden like 10 years ago talking? It was way clearer. Way
He's
clearer.
84.
That's
He's
why.
so old.
No, but that was only at 74 though, and he was still talking like crisp. I would have voted for him
I
then.
would never have voted for him.
Mum's
He's
life, I would have
a
voted for
freak.
him then.
Have you seen all them videos of him like when he's like doing some awards and there's kids around?
No.
Just watch that and you won't like him again. Trust me.
You haven't
Okay.
seen the video of him just going like this?
Obama was 47 when he took over.
Yeah,
when
see,
he
good
was-
age.
47.
when he
Good
was-
age.
yeah.
Good
George
age.
Bush 54.
But Bush it's like in his DNA.
Nah, Richie's got to go.
Sunak.
Yeah. What about?
Okay, so tell
I
me,
didn't have Sky.
tell me one person who's around 60 that is open to change.
Guardiola.
Tell me.
I just said one.
Tell me.
You didn't say no, so that's
Who?
one.
I did say no.
Ellen's not.
I said
Ellen,
that's a terrible.
You said
that's a
the
terrible
only reason
example.
you didn't say yes to Ellen's because you thought she was younger.
no.
Now that
I
you
said
see that
I
she's
said
over
no
60.
straight away. I said she's a pedo.
Yeah, no.
Straight away.
You said she drinks blood.
She's a pedo. Where do you think they get the
How many
blood?
She's
trips
not-
to Epstein
not
Island?
a pedo.
Epstein
Yes,
Island.
she's
she
gay.
is.
She's a
Was that?
pedo as well. She's not a pedo. She's gay.
What?
Nah,
Why are you laughing?
She does.
Is she not gay?
Yeah, that's not
That's got
that's
nothing
not
to
what
do
we're
with it.
saying.
doesn't cleave.
We're not saying her.
You can't be
Her being gay.
You're saying she's not a pedo because she's gay.
No, I'm not.
And the thing is, most pedos are gay.
I'm just
True.
saying.
I always see old men.
I'm stating
hitting on
facts. I
Yeah.
stated
Younger
she's.
boys.
Yeah,
I stated her
absolutely.
age, and now I'm stating
The
her
priests.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Her
priest.
They like
preferables.
boys.
her pronouns.
She's not a pedo.
I
she's
never
gay.
said that.
She's not a
pretty
Bro,
much said
You
that.
did say.
Basically.
we need to
Inadvertent-
sack this fucking
Inadvertent producer.
this
You
producer. We
implied
need to
that.
sack
Yeah.
him.
Inadvertently, that's what you
Yeah,
said.
No, I
Guardiola
didn't.
was
I
almost
just stated
60 and he's
facts.
open
He's
to
not
change.
open to change.
Yes,
He's
he
open
is.
to his own change.
Yeah, but change.
He's not open. If somebody went to him and said this,
I want to
this,
leave. He'd say, yeah, sure, I'll
no,
get someone
that's
new.
not what it is. I'm
Yeah,
saying if
he's
somebody
open
said
to
to him,
change.
these are the ideas we're going with, he's not saying yes. He's saying,
but he's in
fuck.
charge.
He's saying, fuck
He's
no.
in charge.
So?
He's willing to see and analyze the data and
No,
see what's
he
going on
ain't.
and change. And
No
Guardiola.
idea is a good idea
And
to Guardiola unless it came from Guardiola. I
Yeah,
reckon.
he's-
Guardiola don't want.
I reckon
What?
he.
he's welcome to change. City don't even play the same at all. He literally signed a big freak up front when they went from playing with a false nine to now playing with a guy who literally
It's
only
his own
scores tap in.
change.
It's
It's not
Yes,
someone else's.
It's
because
his own
everyone got
change
cut
because he
'cause he sold Aguero.
assessed the situation
Mm-mm.
and he realized that change is needed and he brought in.
Couple comments from last week. Samir Aman. Great episode. My standout player for the Euro so far has to be Sabitzer. Been watching BVB this season. He's been so good in the Euros and for BVB. He said he's improved Janssens from Tokyo. He said, in a way, it'll be exciting once Ronaldo and Messi actually retire. We'll get to see those who take the throne for the next years. Is MJ alright? Felt like he was zoned out this episode. Maybe he was tired, man.
Yeah,
Big day at
I
work.
think so.
It's EFS.
Yeah, that's true. It is.
All
EFS.
mine. Oh my.
That's bread.
Nav Saeed said, I don't believe analytics is
Oh.
part of the problem. I think football literacy is a genuine issue nowadays, and the way we consume football is kind of cooked. We want it to be short and digestible and want
Pause.
want to put as little effort into understanding it. Just like with TikTok ruining your attention span to a point where you're unable to watch movies the whole way through.
It was like that before.
Not me. I love movies.
I get
Makes
his point.
sense.
Yeah, I get his point definitely. But I love
I see
movies.
that. I see that.
Maybe that's why.
what
I can
about
watch
people
a full
with-
game?
What about people that had, what's the thing? Short attention.
80
Yeah.
D.
Then, what about them? It's been like that for them always.
Yep.
If I pull up with a Kerry Washington, you know that? If I pull up with a Kerry
I
Washington,
don't know the song.
that's gonna be an enormous scandal. I could have me Naomi Candle
It's that song.
Yeah.
and still might want me a Stormy Daniels.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
don't
that
know
one.
who she is though.
Yeah, but you
I'm-
say you didn't know that.
I remember there was like a whole thing about her.
Yeah,
Didn't somebody like interview her about it or something?
probably. She probably got more money. That's good. That's good.
I don't know how to pronounce this person's name, but I'm gonna just
Try
guess. Moinidebele.
Sounds good.
Debele. Football today reminds me of those clones from that Nike advertisement.
Yeah,
Facts.
facts.
Yeah,
That's what I was
facts.
saying on
I
that
see
episode.
that.
I think you took that from me.
Damn, maybe they predict the future.
Maybe
Was
they-
that episode
yeah.
on Simpsons?
Maybe.
No.
It
Oh.
might be.
Yeah.
Ben
This is
Leonard, love this podcast. I love the discussion about how we're judging players today. I've only started watching football 4 to 5 years ago, and I fall into the trap of looking at FOTMob ratings to determine who was good and who was shit.
Yeah, facts.
He said also to follow on the media side and specifically basketball. It's crazy that at the moment, the host of the biggest NBA podcast, JJ Redick, is now an NBA coach, and the reason his podcast is so good because he's got such great basketball IQ and he is able to break down the game and explain stuff different to the normal media. Great point.
He's actually really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
makes sense.
I like watching it.
Hope he's a good coach.
His last team that he coached was, I think, under nines.
Really?
Yeah, and now he's the NBA coach.
Damn.
Jesus. Drop a comment about whether you think it should be legal to be prime minister or president over the age of 55. No, we'll say 60.
60.
60. Would you meet me
What if you're 59?
halfway?
What do you guys want to talk about today? Because we've got a few player debates for at the end, but
Cool.
we can talk about the Euros. We can talk about how England got away with murder. We can talk about anything
problems
we
with
want
England?
today.
Well,
because there are several
A
problems.
little
with
England breakdown.
Yeah,
There are. We can talk about this because, once again, a couple guys' performance was... And this is a thing we spoke about, but does it hold so much weight?
guess who got man of the match?
Does Bellingham's goal hold so much weight in the
Guess who got man of the match?
outcome of the whole game that he doesn't have to have a good performance?
You know what?
Where do you stand, Mike?
I'm afraid it does. I'm a big critic.
I agree.
I was like, this he's underperforming. He's this, he's that. But that moment,
100%.
unbelievable. Unbelievable. And for me, you can have a bad performance, but if you say, you know what, I'm going to take this team to the next round by myself.
He said, "Who else?
Who else? Nah, that's crazy. Crazy. I could not believe it. You know what? I watched the game. I tried to wake up at 2. I woke up at like 3. And I was watching. I was like 1-0 to Raps. And then I was watching. I fell asleep. I woke up. It was like the 86th minute. I'm like, damn, England's going to lose.
Yeah, they're gonna
And
be
then
out.
the moment happens, I was like, nah, this kid is different.
Yeah.
There's something about like
Yeah.
moments and players that stand up to moments. And he's just got that. Like, he's got that. He might not have the ability like the OGs we know. But in terms of moments, nah, unbelievable.
And
I'll have to give him
if we're
credit.
being honest, like yesterday, for example, in our game, if I didn't think I played well, but I scored the goal that I scored and we won, I would have been like, fuck it. I would have been happy. I would have been over the moon. I wouldn't have even cared about my performance. Really, if you had that moment that influenced the game
Yeah, big time.
and your team won, especially in a knockout tournament. In a league, you might feel like it's a bit more like, oh, I need to be better because we're playing 38 games. But in the knockout tournament, is there anything more important than moments? Is it about
Okay.
performance?
I think the way I look at it is, yeah, the moment is incredible and it's really important. But you look at England in that game against Slovakia, which realistically, they should have won the game like more comfortably than they did. It should never have been an extra time game based on the quality of what it's perceived to be their squad.
Yeah.
And you look at Bellingham's performance in the game, not just Bellingham, Harry Kane's someone big. He scored the winner. But you look at Harry Kane's performance. As a manager, do you look at these guys scoring the important goals to win that game? Or do you look at the 93 minutes before the game where they were awful, non-existent, terrible, and think if we had certain other players on the field, we could have just had a better performance, won the game in 90 minutes. Do you look at it like that? Because when I look at it and I see Kane's performance, I see that he scored the winner, but you can't tell me that Ollie Watkins or Ivan Toney in that game would have been better. Even Ivan Toney
was great.
for the 20 minutes he was on the field was
Great.
better.
Great.
So I don't know what. Obviously, a goal and a moment and a winner in a knockout tournament holds a lot of weight. But what weight does the performance hold?
Okay, perfect segue. The conversation I want to go into now is how much of this should be put, like how much of the team's just lack of performance or just failure to control games is on Southgate, and how much of it is on the players that are playing. Because if you want to look at it from the perspective of England fans, how highly they rate the players in the team, how any combined 11 would be dominated by England players, how every England player who's starting is like player of the season in Spain, player of the season in England, Harry Kane,
Germany.
you got
Ballon
Saka,
d'Or.
you have all these players, Stones, Rice. Why can't a group of 11 players who are the top level in the world just put the performance on their back and say, we're better than Slovakia, we can beat Slovakia, regardless of tactics?
I agree.
Why aren't those 11 players good enough to just win games without Southgate coaching? Southgate being a tactician or coaching or setting them up in a specific way.
As much as Southgate, I think there's things that he does wrong and that he makes wrong decisions. But it's gotten to a point now where he's just the scapegoat, regardless of how if England are to play well and win, the players will get praised, and it's because the players or these players are so good. And if England play badly, it's never the players are. Why can Jude, Foden, Saka, Harry Kane, why can they all be on a field together and not put together a great performance? Why is it they're all playing in... Most of them are playing in positions that they play in. People complaining about Foden playing on the left. When he plays on the left for City, would anyone be like, what the hell, Foden's playing on the left? Never. No one would ever say that. So why is it now, if Rice was playing 6 in a game for Arsenal, no one would ever say, why is he playing 6? It's so... Southgate is the issue that's what England fans are saying. That's what everybody's saying. Southgate is the issue. But realistically, you're world-class players, regardless. That's what makes a system player, right? Somebody who can't go to another manager or go into another system and perform. So are these guys the best players in the world? Are we going to say that they're system players because they can't perform in Southgate's system? Or are we going to say that, yeah, look, the players are going to they have to take accountability and be like, we're better than what we're putting out on the field?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a weird one because I think we're seeing a Southgate that's probably more flexible than he's ever been. You know, he's dropped players that historically he wouldn't drop. He's brought in players that historically he wouldn't bring in players during tournaments. Like we saw Trent start, Kobe Mainu start. He's had a look at Gallagher. So we're seeing that he's trying to change things. He's trying to put players in different positions and it's not working. So what I try and think about it is, are these English players not as good as we think they are?
100%.
Is this like the English media, the Prem bias that we're seeing? Because now we're looking at teams like Georgia who are performing at a high level, Switzerland performing at a high level.
Unbelievable.
And these players comparably are mostly not even comparable to these Prem, these English, amazing players. So the question I ask myself is, and I'm keen to hear what you guys have to think as well, is do we think English players compared to the world, are they overrated? Because this English team on paper really they should have cruised through group stage. They struggled. In this game, to go to 120 minutes against a team like this, there's a lot of questions because we look at Spain. You know, that's a team where phenomenally talented, but still no one was tipping Spain to be this unbelievable team.
It's a weak Spain
youngsters.
squad. Before the tournament, it's a weak Spain squad.
And no one knows the Spain coach.
Yeah, exactly. It's a week before the tournament. It's a week before the tournament. Maybe I don't know. Maybe 6 months ago, it was a weak Germany squad. Just because they started performing well before the tournament started. 6 months ago, it was a weak Germany squad, and now you look at the squad. Even there's players that are relatively unknown that play, that start, that would never ever in a combined 11. Maybe 3 players from Germany get in with England, according to the media. Maybe these guys are just not the level that we put them at because we watch them every single week. Because we don't watch Spain or the La Liga much or Bundesliga much or Serie A much. All these players, we just automatically put them to this highest level. Players like Stones are rated so much higher than Akanji, even though we watch them every week. And look at how Akanji's playing for Switzerland. He's been, if not the best defender in the whole tournament.
A machine.
It's the bias is crazy.
But
I think I think people want more than, will always want more from the England team no matter what. And I think that's proving to, affect the players in a way. I think we forget that England made the final the year before, their last Euros. World Cup, they lost to a good France team that went to the final and should have won. I think we take those for not us, but I mean English fans take those kind of things for granted in a way. I think if this was any other country, you only care about results in tournament football. In tournaments is what I'm trying to say. Not qualifiers. Qualifiers is where you care a bit about how teams should be playing, trying to figure out the best players to play. That's where I think you should be critical. But I think when it comes to a tournament where there's 6 games to make the final, it should just be win. And they do that. No matter what, they do that.
They
do.
They haven't
I
won.
think a lot of teams get you look at Brazil.
Yeah, exactly.
Brazil are getting absolute. I mean, it's a different level because they're winners, but they get criticized when they don't perform how they should perform in the eyes of the British people.
But
the Brazilian people.
But then, that match we saw of Brazil just recently compared to the game before, there wasn't much difference in performance-wise. They just scored more goals, and everyone was quick to forgive the previous Brazil performance.
England haven't won a
Is what I'm
tournament
trying to
since the 60s, though.
No, but I'm saying
So
And
they
they're
don't.
favourites.
They don't win.
They're tipped to be favorites.
They don't win.
they're tipped to be favourites because people, like I said, they overgas England.
Yeah.
Like you guys are all saying, and I agree with that part. And I'm saying it's just, these levels of players. Like, for instance, Bellingham is what he is. He hasn't been different to what he normally is. He still scores. He still puts in the same performances. They might be below what people expect, but to him, that's his level. Like, he's been consistent with that. He hasn't dropped. We're expecting him to be a player he's not. We're expecting him to be more technical, more show more ability to play something that we haven't seen from him. So why do we are so critical of him when
I
he
think
does
we
the
did
things
see
he
that,
does
though.
best?
I think we criticize why he gets so much publicity when we believe his performances don't merit the kind of credit he gets. I think that's where That's what I believe. We
But-
think.
Yeah,
I
but
don't expect him to be anything more because I don't think he's anything more than what he
Yeah.
does. But I think he gets credited for being more than he does.
I think because no one in that England team, he has to be the one that takes
Yeah.
all of it, all the heat. Whatever happens, he'll be the one that steps up always. Like he'll be the one that talks to the media. He'll be the one that if they lose, he's the one everyone will like go to for words, including players in that team. So I feel like he's doing more than just performing on the field for that England team.
I do think he's a leader for the team. But
Definitely.
my thing for England is you said that the most important thing is win. They win games. They never win games they're not expected to win. Like whenever they're not the clear favourite, they don't win the game. And that's
but-
my problem with England in tournaments. Every tournament where they've breezed the group stage, their group stages have been terrible. They've had teams like Panama in 2018 at the World Cup. They've had Scotland
They
in this
drew with
group, or whoever
Scotland
they had.
last
Scot-
Euros. They
yeah.
drew
yeah.
with Scotland last Euros.
Then
yeah.
in this group, who did they draw with? 0-0.
Slovenia, right?
Slovenia or someone, right? They drew with Denmark. They won the first game.
And
Yeah.
then I think the
Yeah.
last game was against Slovenia.
But
They drew.
as soon as they come up to this Slovakia game, which they should win
Yeah.
convincingly, I don't care how good Slovakia's been. The same way Spain dispatched of Georgia.
Yeah.
That's what England should have done.
Yeah.
But we know that if England had drawn any other fixture, if they had drawn Switzerland, if they had drawn Italy,
Well, they
if they
got
had drawn
Switzerland
Denmark, you wouldn't think you wouldn't be like, yeah, England's going to win this game. The same way you think Germany would beat those teams, or the same way you think France would beat
Correct.
those teams.
No, you're right.
So when are they going to win a game where they're not expected to win?
because they don't.
Because they don't.
They don't.
But look at
France going into the World Cup,
Yeah.
last World Cup, way less expectation than England had going into
They
the
had,
World
they had
Cup.
like 10
They had
players
so many
out.
young players. They had players missing. Their main guys, Pogba, Kante, weren't there. They had a team of like 21, 23-year-olds. Yet when it comes to France versus England, France win. When
But
it
that
comes,
wasn't a game where France outplayed them and
No,
deserved
but
to
like
win.
you
no,
said,
but they
win.
won. Results.
So
They
I
won.
just
Yeah.
want to talk
Yeah.
about them.
But
Why
it's
can't
like-
they beat a
no,
good team?
when they
It's not
versed
that they
Croatia
can't beat a good
2018,
team. I think
They haven't though.
when they
You-
versed
you-
Croatia
you-
2018, they
you-
lose.
Yeah.
yeah, you repeat that fixture 10 times, I think it ends up being like 6-4 to whoever team.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, it's like when
Does
you
it
verse a
though?
good team, it's not like one team deserve to win. When it comes to like big teams up against each other, it's not.
Didn't
You
England lose
expect
to,
a
like,
better team.
Iceland One
Yeah.
2016.
Yeah.
What has shown you in these years of you watching England that when they would verse somebody like France, that they would win 4 times or they would win 6 times? Because I can't see it. They've shown
The
me
close
nothing
score lines.
in a
how-
big game,
when
though.
the eye
they've
test,
shown
when
me
you watch
nothing.
the game.
They've shown me nothing to say that
What do
they
you
can.
mean, bro?
They have
We
it
watched-
in them to win.
If we watch, there's certain moments in games that we can be like, okay, England should have won because of this. Like for instance, Kane should have squared Sterling. That's a big. That's a
Well, I'm
moment
saying-
that you should be like, England deserve to win that.
Of course, there's moments in the game,
So you-
but what have they shown you? When have they beat a big side? When have they beat a big team? When have they been the team that not the better side or the underdog and they've won? Or when have they shown you that they've gone into a tournament with the favorite status?
They've never
and-
won a
and
game
done-
where they're not
and done
expected to win,
something.
and that's my issue.
Yeah.
So they're going to
I
eventually
think
get
it's
to a
because-
place in a tournament where they're versing a team that's better than them.
Well, I think
And
Switzerland.
I
are better
think
than
that's
them,
why I
and
agree with
which
what you guys
at
are
the
saying.
start of the
Performance
tournament,
level, yeah.
that's never a thing. Switzerland aren't. Nobody. Someone would call you crazy to think that Switzerland would be a better side than England going into the game. And for me, they're the better side going into the game. And I think England are going to lose.
But I think it's due to people gassing up England more than they should.
But,
But-
it's they gas themselves up.
Yeah.
Who?
English
The
media.
the media gas their own team.
That's what I'm
up.
saying. But the players are the ones that will be like if you ask players, they're gonna be like, oh, these are strong teams. These are strong teams.
I reckon
Yeah,
they
of
think it's
No,
failure
I
if
think-
they don't win.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they
of
think
course.
that they're the best
but
players
because
in the
of
world
what you
in each
like,
of their
you've
positions.
been like,
No.
it's not just now that England fans have been like this. So if it's just generation after generation, it's and you see it. It's evident. Like every single England setup, no matter who's the coach, no matter what players are, does the exact same thing.
Nah,
so
in
it's due to
2014
the
they
media.
didn't expect 2014 World Cup. They didn't expect to go on and be like and
Yeah,
to win
I
or to
agree.
do anything.
No, they didn't expect, but the outcome's still the same with the fans and how they took
don't
those
think so.
results. It was.
I don't
it
think
was
so.
the same.
2014.
Yes.
There, it was not the same.
It was
team.
still the
Team that had
same.
Vardy and Sturridge. Is not the
Sturridge,
same.
Lingard.
No, I'm
Lingard.
saying how fans took away from those results was the same.
I don't think
Not
so.
the media. I'm saying no matter what happens, they'll always be like, yeah, we won, but it's a bad performance, which they're saying today.
So are
But
you,
it's like, what more do you want if you're winning?
are you
would
saying
you
you're
rather-
happy with England's, or you're content with England's
Because
run so far?
because if people not lower their expectations, but kind of come to reality that this is just how it's going to be, except this is how Bellingham's going to play.
But
This
should
is
it
how-
be?
Should
Should
it? Yeah.
I don't think
For
it
instance,
should be.
Bellingham should it.
I'm not saying Bellingham playing the way he's
I think
playing
if you have the
is
talent,
yeah.
you should have an expectation.
I feel
to
as
be
though
better.
Definitely,
got-
but you're getting results.
But
It's not like
they
you're playing
aren't
good.
getting
results.
They
results.
aren't.
They aren't.
They've
I mean,
drawn
they're
2
progressing.
games and
1-2.
Slovakia took them.
They're progressing,
They've progressed.
which is the most important thing.
But
in a
it can't.
tournament
It
game.
can't be. The argument can't be. All right, ignore their performance. The most important thing is winning games. But
It
then they're
is.
not even winning games. They've won 2 out of 4 games.
And the
Okay.
tournament, and it can't be a good tournament because if they get to the semi-final and that's their first difficult game, obviously
And
it's
they
different,
lose.
and they lose. That's
Right.
what I'm saying. Because nothing is haven't shown us anything to say that when they get to the big game that they can win that game. Nothing has shown me anything to say that. They haven't shown me anything in the last since 2018 since this squad. It's like kind of. This squad has been gearing up to this moment. It's a different squad now, but kind of the way like when a new manager takes over and they build the squad that they want. They've got how many of the best players in the Premier League do they have? They have the number 1 or number 2 leading Ballon d'Or, the number 3 Ballon d'Or in Kane, the best player in Germany, like in Harry Kane.
that answers your question. You
What
just
does?
answered your own question in what shows you that this time is going to be different.
What shows me in their performances?
It doesn't have to be performance though.
But
If
nothing
they're
shows
progressing-
me.
No, but you don't need to see performance. You just listed the reasons why. This is why it's different.
So why should their performances be the way that it's been in this tournament if I've listed the quality of squad that they have?
No, but I'm saying to you that yeah, the performances have been bad. Have they progressed? Yes. You're asking now, like why haven't I what can I see
Yeah.
that will convince me they're gonna win these next games?
Yeah.
You just listed. They've got the best player in Real Madrid, best player in Bundesliga, like best striker.
But clearly that's not
No,
that's
but
not
that's
evident
the
when they're playing for
difference.
England.
That's the
It's not
difference though
evident,
this
though.
time.
When
No.
they're playing for England,
No,
that's
but
not
it's
the
tournament
case.
football. It doesn't matter like if it's not showing in the first 5 games, but they've progressed. If it's showing on the game day, they win and they go to that's showing.
I feel
It's
No, but
progression.
typically teams will grow into tournaments, so you can see they progressively get better after a slow start. But I think the concern is we're not seeing England get better. We're not seeing a clear identity of how they're
Yeah.
playing, their style. Whereas we're seeing that with Switzerland. They have a structure. We're seeing that with Spain, who look very good.
Yeah,
Germany.
okay.
We're seeing that with Germany.
They lose
It's
and then
clear.
nothing happens. They lose and everyone forgets about it though.
That's not true, though.
It is true.
No, but
because,
it is. It
because
is
no
true.
one said anything.
It
when,
is true.
when Portugal just lost 2-0.
It is
to
true.
Georgia. No
It-
one said anything.
Of course, but in Portugal,
And
they've done
Portugal's
the job.
team- Nah, but
They've already
that-
done the job. They
2-0
won their first
though.
2 games,
2-0.
and they
lost
rotated their whole
2-0.
squad.
It wasn't
for
the whole
third
squad,
game.
bro.
It was their whole squad.
it doesn't matter
Look at
though.
the line.
It
It
doesn't
does
matter.
matter.
It doesn't matter.
Because
That team should
context is
still win
everything.
that game.
Portugal's starting lineup played 2 games
It
from
does- it doesn't
2.
matter.
They won
that
both.
team should still win
They
that
ro-
game. They shouldn't be
regardless.
losing
Yeah, it's
2-0.
true.
You
Regardless.
shouldn't be losing 2-0 though.
Regardless.
What do you mean regardless?
England
If
in 90
England- if
minutes
that
have
was
only
the
won
same-
1 game.
If that was the
of
same, England
4.
won their first 2 and lost 2-0.
Nobody
to a
would
team.
care. Nobody would
That's
care.
cap.
And if they
I'm
rested,
telling
if
you,
they
that's a lie.
rested their
care.
team, they wouldn't.
That's
It's
a lie.
context.
That's a lie.
If you're just
because
saying-
the next team is just as good for England, like on paper,
Were
not
Portugal,
performance.
were
So
Portugal
if
going
they
to
went
finish
into
top
that
of the
game-
group regardless of if they,
No, but I'm
if they
saying-
won the last game?
I'm,
They were.
I'm answering your question. They
Yeah.
would care because that second team is just as good.
Look,
on paper.
I get your point.
So you would be like, oh, England
That's
just
a
lost
problem.
2-0.
That's a problem.
Whereas
I
Portugal
get- I
just
get-
lost
I don't think-
2-0
I don't think it's a
with a
problem.
squad
No, I
that
don't think
isn't
so.
as like. Yes, it's maybe a few of their second choice players.
It was
and a few
all of their
first-
second choice.
No, but
players.
some of them could rotate for first, and you wouldn't. Be
But
like,
that
oh,
doesn't
it's
matter.
bad.
That, it's not the
Comparing
game that. It's not the
comparing
teams that
to
started the
drawing
must
3
win
games
games.
where you should have won all
Yeah,
3.
it's not really comparable.
Drawing 3
No,
games
I'm
in a
not
row where you
comparing
should
it.
have
I'm
won
not
all
comparing
3.
it. I'm saying,
But you're
had that result been England,
But you're doing
instead of Portugal, it would have been 100% different.
Portugal have lost, right? They've lost 1 game. They've won 2. England drew 2, won 1. Drew this morning in 90 minutes. They won in extra time.
Yeah.
And Portugal, you would back Portugal over England
100%.
in a game, and despite them losing, because you know
It's-
what's happened.
No, but that's just a big game. I wouldn't be like, oh, Portugal.
Portugal
I would
aren't a
want
big
Portugal
game
to win.
team.
No, but I would want Portugal to win. That doesn't mean they're gonna win.
No,
if
who
you
do
said
think-
realistically,
If you had
I
to
wouldn't
bet,
know.
if you had to bet on who would,
I wouldn't know.
if you had to
That's
bet,
a game you wouldn't bet
if
on.
you had to bet,
I would.
I
I would
wouldn't
bet
bet
on
on-
No, no.
Portugal.
if you had to. If
Portu-
somebody said, Bud,
Portugal
you
has a
have to
high
bet on
chance
this
of
game,
winning
who
than
would you
England
put on?
does, definitely.
If they said,
It's so
Bud,
hard though because
No, no,
this
but if
is
they said,
I
Bud,
rate this year's
we're
England
killing you
team.
if you get. If
No,
you
you
guess
can bet
this
on
wrong.
England. You can say
You
you
can
bet on
say
England.
England.
But I'm saying I would put my money on Portugal.
If they were to play each other, I would
Any
put
day.
nothing England has shown me is
If France were to play England next round,
I'll
I'd put
put-
my money on France. Spain, put my money on Spain.
Spain, Germany,
Regardless of England
Germany.
win the game, right now nothing they've done has shown me that they can win a big game.
But I think, like I said, Samuel answered that question with the list of like players going into this tournament compared to other tournaments. I think you're getting the best of the best players off like during like that season's players coming into this setup. Yes, they might not play good, but in a tournament where you just have to win, regardless of if your performance was good or not, like not win but progress to the next stage, they've done that. And now we might get to see the test against Switzerland, but it might end up just like this game where it's a draw and they win at the end, and people still won't be like, oh,
But I think
they're satisfied
I think the
with it.
concern is though, England's struggling against lesser teams. They're coughing up a lot of chances.
Yeah.
They're getting lucky, so that's not going to happen.
they're not
against
creating
better
any
teams.
chances. Their first shot on target was.
I think that's
Bellingham's
the
goal.
argument. Is despite all the quality, they're not creating. They're not stopping like chances from happening. They're not keeping clean sheets. Yeah, they're dominating possession, but if they had if this morning they could have easily conceded 2 or 3.
Yeah.
They could have easily
Okay,
have done.
say you're England fans
Yeah.
for this question.
Yeah.
Say today everyone played good, the team was good,
Okay.
and you lost.
Yeah.
And you lost. It's not possible.
It is possible.
I don't think it's
A
possible.
team that plays good can lose.
Okay.
Yes, of
let's
course.
say,
In a tournament.
let's say,
I don't
let's
think
say-
it's possible
let's say it
against
happens.
Slovakia. I don't think that's.
Let's say that
possibility.
happens, right? Do you think fans verse that result today, and they play shit, and they progress?
Yeah.
Do you think you would prefer, as an England fan, we
Obvious.
played really good and we lost?
No,
or-
obviously not. That's
or
ridiculous.
We win, but we played bad.
But
Well,
what,
I-
you're
as a
making
fan,
a
I'd want to be in the
choice.
tournament as
Yeah.
long as possible.
Correct.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But okay,
You're
so
making
no.
that
It's
the
that was
argument
part
there.
A. Part A.
Yeah, okay.
It's
So now,
ridiculous, though.
throughout all tournaments, when have you been like England's played good?
That's the issue.
Yes.
But it's always been
Okay,
like this.
okay.
So
But
how's
they
it
haven't
an
won
issue?
anything. That's the
They
whole
never
issue.
win.
Last
They
year-
don't
You
win.
losing in a final is
They
not
don't
a,
win.
it's not an issue.
They don't
Losing
win.
in a final
Of
is not
course
an
it
issue.
is.
They lost
Losing in a
Euros.
semi against a really strong
You're
team
providing
is
no
not an issue.
context at all. No context. You're just saying losing in a final and losing in a semi-final.
They lost to an Italy
lost-
side
I've
that
named
was
the last
before
two
the
teams.
tournament
They
an
were playing.
average
There's no
Italy
context.
side.
There's no context to that. You just said losing in a final and losing in a semi. They played an Italy
I
side.
said the last two finals.
Yeah, they played an Italy side that was not as good as them on paper. One, they were playing at home. Two, and
they
they
went
scored
up
in the
in the
first
game.
5 minutes of the game and still lost the game. How is that not poor?
They drew the game and lost in penalties.
Well, the same way
That's not
the same
that's
way
not a
England won
loss
today.
That's
Yeah,
penalties.
You're counting their
Well,
as a
you
win
said they
today.
won today.
That's
They
a
won in
loss.
extra time.
Yeah,
So-
but I'm
But they
saying
drew the
no,
game
I'm
against
saying what would they
Slovakia.
prefer? Like to progress?
Obviously,
not win
but
the game.
what-
Progress.
they would prefer to win and play well. That's what they would
But
prefer.
one is a byproduct of the other. They're losing games because they're playing poorly.
and they're,
They're
not
losing
winning because
games
they're
that-
playing poorly.
That it's not like they're losing the shit games like we said.
What do you
They're,
mean?
they're not
They are.
losing. They're not getting knocked out by Slovakia. Who's in Georgia? They're
But
not
what-
getting knocked out by them. They're getting knocked out by France, Italy in the final. If we go back,
Croatia.
It's Croatia. Like they're not
Croatia.
teams that can't
On
beat
paper,
England.
England have a better
It's not
squad
teams
than.
that you should be like, oh, England should definitely
saying
win that
that's
Why
game.
not though?
That's what the problem
not,
is
though?
as well.
No, I'm
It's a
saying they're not
problem.
losing to teams that are like, oh, England shouldn't definitely be
The
losing.
issue
England
They're
beat
losing
those
to
teams.
strong
England
opponents.
should only lose to
It's a one-off game.
England
best
should
and
only
the strong
lose to
opponents.
Yeah.
Argentina, France,
At this
Brazil.
point,
That's it.
at this point, they
No,
shouldn't lose to anybody.
Because it's you're basing it off form
They
as
shouldn't
well.
lose to
You wouldn't
anybody.
have said
It's
they
not our
shouldn't lose
fault.
to anybody.
It's not our form.
you
They
just
shouldn't
said
lose to
Spain are
anybody.
good now, and everyone's now saying Spain's one of the favorites.
I'm
to
saying
win
right now,
And
I
it's
think
off
Spain
form.
would beat England.
because of form.
But
I'm
who
saying
it's
that-
not because of squad.
I'm saying that England shouldn't lose to any team,
I
but
think England
Spain
shouldn't
would
lose
beat
to
England.
anybody.
I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
because of form. Before the tournament, you wouldn't have said Spain were going to beat England.
Exactly.
Would
That's
you?
what the whole issue is. Bud.
That's my issue.
No, but I'm saying that.
It could be
They-
anything else, bro.
No, but I'm saying that because of like the teams they verse, they're not like bad teams to lose to. Is what I'm trying to say.
Every team is a bad team to lose to if you're expected to win the tournament.
tournament,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter because
Expectations
at some
through who,
point
though?
you have to
through the media that we've
It's
just
No,
said.
expectation.
the bookies,
Yeah.
every betting company
Bookies
has
and
England
England
as
was
one.
favourite.
Bookies don't know shit about
That's
football.
literally
Of course
based
they
on
do.
analytics.
They just
job
see
to
the
analyse
players.
it.
No,
They
it's
see the
based on
players that are
analysis.
like
Yeah, it is
that are
based on
good.
analytics, bro.
That's how they work out favorites.
That's
for
the problem.
tournaments.
That's the
Otherwise,
problem.
these fucking companies would be losing millions of dollars
Yeah,
every
if
year
they're just
if
picking
they had
England.
no idea who was going to
It's
win.
not no idea, but it's based off something that it's not that realistic when someone that watches football and knows stuff knows this stuff.
If somebody
A
said
lot of
England was going to
football
win the
people
tournament to
thought
you,
they
you
were
would
gonna
have
win.
said sure.
If Leicester won the league and you saw a lot of Leicester
not the same.
players
You've
in England,
you've
you're not
brought
going
the
to freaking
exemption-
say
that's the
England are going to win
exception
the,
to
the World Cup.
It's the exception
What
to
are
the
you talking
rule.
about?
Nah, that's
Did
not-
City
somebody
win
had
the
said-
league 6 out of 7 years? And did the bookies have them first every year? Yes.
That's not what I meant.
No, but I'm telling you, that's the way.
No, I'm
how it
saying
works.
because you're saying you have favorites off based off analytics. I'm saying if Leicester won and
They weren't favorites.
majority of their team was England players.
they weren't favorites.
No, I'm saying now. I'm saying Leicester win the league. Majority of the team's English players. Half of them go to England with everyone still here. Like all these players are still around.
I fully don't understand. He's lost me. He's lost me.
Just leave it.
All I'm saying is England, if you're a team that's expected to win, one, inside the dressing room, listen, inside the dressing room, you know for a fact that all those players are like, we should win the Euros.
Yep.
You know
We're here to
there's
win.
not one player in the dressing room that doesn't think that they should win the Euros.
right? But there's probably like four teams that think that too.
Stop. Of course.
So then when you lose to
Stop there.
4 or 5 teams, so if you lose to any of them, it's not as big of a worry.
It's
No.
If your
as if you lose to
expectation,
the outside
No,
of the
no, no,
of
if your
those four.
expectation
That's
is
the
to win the
expectation.
tournament, then if you don't win the tournament, anything below that is a failure.
Absolutely.
That's how Brazil go into every tournament. That's how France go into every tournament. That's how Argentina go into the tournaments now. That's how Germany go into every tournament.
Every World Cup Brazil doesn't win, they failed.
It's a failure
It's not they played good in
Based
some
off what,
games.
though?
based off their
The
expectation.
expectation of the
expectations.
team.
Not
the
of the
expectation
team.
of the country.
The
Yes.
country. There we go.
No, the
country.
team.
It's not the,
The
team.
country. Yes,
It's
it
not
is.
The
Team.
team.
Every
You can't tell
Brazil
me-
team thinks they go into the
Bro,
World
you
Cup.
can't tell me those
expect-
Brazil teams that go into World Cups. They look at the players left and right. Neymar looks at his players left
Last
and
year,
right.
you don't think they expect
If
Neymar
Brazil,
looks left and
if
right and
Brazil
goes,
had
yeah, we're
beat,
fucking winning
beat
this
Croatia last year, everyone would have expected them to win the World Cup.
Exactly.
I'm saying you as a player.
I'm
I'm
saying
saying
me
Neymar's
as a
looking
fan.
left and right. He's not at the start of the tournament. He's not saying, "Oh,
Last
we're gonna
year,
win this
of
shit."
course they
Of
did.
course they
He's
did.
saying it because it's
What?
the country is like you have to win, so he's got to say that.
No, he
Brazil's
believes.
squad was incredible.
I'm
He
telling
believes.
you. I'm telling you. I'm telling
Of
you. It's not
course
like
he thinks
that.
they're going to win.
What
That was
do you
And
just
he
one
looks at
example,
himself
though.
and says, I'm the best player in the world.
Of course, but realistically, you look at if you're a player on that team and you look at that team, you're not going to be like, "Yeah, we're winning." This whole
course you
Nobody
are.
that wins something looks at their team and thinks, "Oh, I don't think we can win. I don't think we
Ever.
can win here." There
It's
is not one
yeah, but you're not
team
saying-
that wins
you're not
that looks
saying-
around
No,
and
but
goes,
you're not.
"Fuck,
I'm
I
not
don't
saying
think we're
you're
winning
not.
this game."
You're not saying that. I'm not saying you're
Or
saying that.
they don't think it.
I'm not saying you say that. I'm saying that it's not that you say I'm gonna win.
Well, they
Is
do.
course
what
they
I'm
are.
trying to say.
Of course
They
do.
say that.
They say we want to win.
No,
it's not.
no,
I'm
they
gonna
say
win.
we're gonna
I'm gonna
win.
win.
It's probably for motivational reasons.
No,
though.
it's not.
City-
100%.
No
City-
good team
City
that
in-
wins
you
any
just said
competition.
no one
City
will
in
say
the
they're gonna-
documentary, the big thing mural that they have on the wall is no team's ever won 4 in a row yet.
What does that have to do with this?
Because they
Basically what you
expect to
just
go
said.
and win. They expect to win the league. When you look around, you're the best team and you have the best players, you expect to win. England look around and they see that they have the best players. They obviously expect to win, but they haven't shown anything to say that they should
but
win
like I
in these
said,
games.
there's 5 other teams there
It don't
in the
matter.
Euros,
It don't matter.
let
doesn't
alone
matter.
the World Cup.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
but
matter.
Let alone the World Cup.
Yeah, but
in the
Bob,
World
they
Cup,
haven't- they haven't played
there's a
those
bigger
teams yet.
pool of players, teams that think they're gonna win just as much as England think they're gonna win.
So
It
what
doesn't
do you
change
put their
anything.
failure of beating the teams that they haven't even who aren't even those 5 teams?
Yeah,
they
they
can't.
haven't
They
played
haven't
them
even
yet.
beat the other teams.
That's the problem.
They, didn't
They haven't beat
Denmark.
them, but they somehow make finals or quarterfinals.
What do you mean
Or,
finals? They made
semifinals.
one
They don't
final.
care about a quarterfinal.
Semi-finals,
A quarterfinal's not a
quarterfinals.
success.
So is quarterfinal successful?
It's not successful. But when you
It's
look
a
at the team,
failure.
but you look at the team that they lost to, you're not gonna be like, "Oh, this is a failure."
Well, the team that they lost to didn't win.
I'm saying the team you lost to,
The team that
you
they
wouldn't-
lost to
you wouldn't
in
think
the
beforehand.
semifinals didn't win the World Cup.
Yeah, but that's
So they're
after
not
you
even
know the
losing to
result
the
of
best
the World
team.
Cup. This is after you knew the result of the World Cup
What?
final.
I'm saying
I'm
that-
saying after that game, or just before that game.
I'm saying at the end of the day, they didn't lose to the best team.
That's because you know. I'm saying because you know the
You don't
result.
think England
I'm
lose
saying
to
when-
you don't
when
think England
England
lose to
versus France-
Croatia in 2018 and after the game think fuck
At
we
no
should have
point
won.
watching the last World Cup did I think France were the best team in the
Ever.
World
Didn't
Cup.
Modric literally win a Ballon d'Or because of that World Cup?
Yeah, he was
What
playing
does that-
by himself.
what
It's
does
because he
that-
carried
what
a
does that
country
say?
of
I'm just
3
saying
million people
that
to a
team
World
was
Cup.
good as well. It wasn't like
How can Modric
they
carry?
lost to like a team that they
But
should have
why
definitely won.
why should they be allowed to lose to a team that's good
It's
as
not-
well?
I'm not saying you're allowed to lose.
So then why should they leave the tournament and not think anything other than this is a failure because we didn't win?
This whole thing has never been from my side about failure. I'm saying this is England. It's been like this whole time. Why do we expect it to change?
Because of the players
Because
that
the
they
players,
They
the
have-
squad that they have.
Yeah, this is arguably the best squad they've had.
The
in
results may change,
the
but
generation.
performance-wise, you shouldn't expect
Six.
performance to change
You
if this
sh-
guy keeps chopping and changing.
You should
his
expect
lineup.
performance to
performance to
change
change.
because you
Yeah.
have the best
Yeah,
players.
but you've
best
changed
players
the
in the
argument
world.
now. It's a different argument.
I'm just saying it's not just solely on the players now. If they're not all starting, if not all the best players that you guys are thinking should
Yes,
be
they are.
playing,
I
They're
think
all
they're all
starting.
starting.
I don't think so.
There's not one that's on the bench.
Trippier shouldn't be starting.
They're all the
but
best
all the
players.
best
And then
players.
and then and then
no, that's
best
and
not
then the
what we said.
formation.
We didn't
All
say the
their
best
best
team
players
players.
are
We said
starting.
all their best
talking about
players are
best team.
starting.
So when you, for me, if you don't put out your best team,
This is the best team.
So who's in their best team that's different? That would be such a difference than Trippier.
I'm saying there's a lot of people that I personally wouldn't have
Also,
in that
what team does fucking Raum, the left back for Germany, play
Or
for?
Tar has been starting every single game
What team
for
does
Germany.
What team does fucking Andrix play for?
Yeah.
What team does
You-
fucking?
you know, Germany didn't pick a lot of players who that people argued should have been in that squad.
Now we're going against formulas from other teams though.
No, but now you're saying that
You're
all
saying-
players have to
that's-
be playing for them
we
to be
That's
good.
what you said.
No, but we forget it. Germany went through a bad patch where
Yes.
performance was bad and players
And they've
were
turned
bad.
it around
Yeah.
quicker than England have.
And they had their best players.
Because that was their standard already. It's not like they went from freaking shit to good. It was because they were good shit back to their normal. It's not like they're playing better than their best Germany's teams.
Yes, they
Who
are.
does
Nah,
Robin
they're not playing better
Who
than
does Robin Lenormand
Yeah,
play
they are.
for? And he started for Spain today.
The
What do you
centre
mean?
back.
Yeah, the centre back.
Yeah.
Who does he play for?
What does this have to do with what I
because
just
you're
said?
saying that Trippier's starting,
because
this
Trippier's
player's
No,
starting.
starting.
An
I'm
issue.
saying, but I said at the start, I said based off for me, this isn't the best lineup
They
to get the
shouldn't
best
need the
It
best
results.
doesn't
lineup.
matter, man.
They shouldn't.
They've
Need
got
I
the
think
best squad in
If
the.
you want results plus good football, that's not the best
But
lineup.
not-
Okay,
is
who's
what
the
I'm
best
saying.
lineup?
I was
Please
going to say
tell me.
not
If
one.
you want
te-
results plus football,
not one team at the Euros has their best lineup that they could possibly play
no, I'm
with
saying to
everyone
you,
not
if
injured,
you want,
everyone fit.
If you want results plus best lineup,
But no team has their best lineup.
I'm saying best lineup available. If you want that plus great football,
What i-
this isn't the best
What is
lineup.
best lineup available? That's so subjective.
I'm saying with the players right now.
Okay, who would you put in the starting team?
That's a different question.
Because would you not?
I'd bomb
But
the team. I'd bomb the team,
Shut
bro.
up.
Because would you not put Wirtz in Germany's best starting lineup?
I'm talking about England.
I'm saying for Germany, that we're saying no team in the tournament
Has their
plays their best starting
on
lineup
paper.
on paper every single game.
No, that's what I'm.
So why
I'm saying
isn't
if you guys want good, like footy, like sexy
You
football,
don't need two players to change to play good
Yeah.
football.
And the one
Otherwise,
being the
no.
left
I'm not
back.
changing two players.
And one being the left back.
You don't need four players to
like
change.
I just said, I'm bombing the team.
No, that
if you
doesn't
want
make
sexy
sense,
football
bro.
and no results, I'll bomb the team. I'll show
Okay,
you.
so what would make sexy football for you for England?
I'll post it.
No, just tell me
I'll
quickly.
post
Just
it.
quickly, who would come
Now
in?
I want it to be
different.
accurate.
No, that's different to now.
I want it to be accurate.
I need to hear this team, man.
Yeah, I'll post
That's
it.
different to now. You won't post it. What's different to now?
I'll post it. I don't
I
wanna
just
say
I
anything
just do
wrong.
one swap, one
yeah,
positional
just one
change.
swap to make the team play
Trippier comes
better
out.
football.
For who?
I'll put in a centre back slash
Who? Just
slash
say who.
He's gonna
left
say
back.
Gomez.
Okay, just say who.
Well, that's what I needed.
You're saying
Look at
you'd
it.
bomb the team and they'll make play sexier football, but you can't
100%.
name one person to bring in.
I said I can, but just not now.
If you think a left back is going to make the team play
Didn't just say
sexier,
left back, but
You did. You
But
said
but
no-
he's one of the first person that's leaving that.
Okay,
spot.
so
nobody
who
in the
else is
front
coming
four is changing realistically.
Kane's coming out for me.
Okay.
Oh, you like Kane now?
What?
Why is that going to make them play sexier football?
I'm
bringing
just
in a
saying.
different striker.
I'm just saying.
Why the fuck would Kane be the problem?
I'm just
By
saying.
himself that he's
This
the
is
only
my
person that
squad.
needs
Why are
to
you
come out.
mad? This is my squad.
You just asked me. You just said, "Oh, what? You think Kane's good now?" And I'm saying, why would Kane be the problem?
I'm not saying Kane's the problem, but if you want sexy football, Kane's out. Trippier's
Why?
out.
Why would Kane come out?
This is my team. I don't know why you guys
You
say
said
why.
if you want sexy
There's
football.
a lot of whys when you
said
ask
if
me
you
for
want
this
sexy
team.
football, Kane would come out.
So then don't ask for the team.
You
And then
haven't
say
named-
why.
you
yeah, but
still haven't named the team.
you're not even explaining why it would make the team play sexier
I don't need to.
football.
I just said this is my lineup.
Yeah, why would that make the team play
Because
sexier
it's my
football?
lineup. That's simple. That's it.
No, it's not. Because why would
It
it,
is
make
simple.
it? Why would it make it play sexier?
You guys asked me for my team. I said I didn't want to give it. And then you asked me for my team. And I said, okay.
But
And then now you're saying why.
the why is why would it make it play sexier football?
I think England suit different styles. And with him there, doesn't suit the style I want.
You want them to play sexy football?
No, there's different types of sexy football.
All right, guys.
My one doesn't involve Kane.
You guys have lost your fucking mind.
Why you cut, bro?
I'm just saying you've lost your mind. If that's how you view football, a guy can score 45 goals in 46 games for Bayern.
And
Comes
score.
to the tournament, he scored 2, including 2 winners, or 1 fucking 1-0 and the game to win today.
Bowen
the goal
could have
to
scored
win.
that fucking header,
The
man.
goal to win. Bowen wouldn't have been in the fucking box at all.
He's goal hungry, bro. He would have fucking scored that.
Yeah,
goal.
and he scored fucking 14 goals this year.
Alright,
And Kane scored
so
45.
the same Kane.
Kane scored 45.
Did you know Kane has, before that goal he scored in the group stage, had 0 group stage goals?
So before
the
the goal he
Euros.
just scored in the group stage. he
And
scored
also, you
0
know,
group
Kane has
stage.
So
65
he had
goals.
one.
You
His
know-
total group stage
Good.
goals in
At the
all Euros
Euros.
he's
At
played
the
in
Euros.
is
Yeah.
one.
And you know,
So
Kane
what about
And
the
he
has
just
World
scored
Cup?
it
You know,
What about the
two
World Cup?
games ago.
What about the World
2
Cup? Where he got
games
top
ago.
scorer?
2 games ago.
What
He's
about
one
the
of
World Cup?
2 games
England's
ago.
highest ever goal scorer.
Yeah,
in
you
a
run
World
with
Cup.
Kane and see how
In
many
a World
goals,
Cup.
how many games you win.
He scored 65 goals in 90 games for England.
Like I said, you run with Kane and see how many goals you win. Because
Yeah,
they,
that's phenomenal.
Mitch, it's not crazy. They freaking play and
But
Doria
you
and
talk,
shit
but
like
you
that.
talk about Ronaldo's goal record for Portugal.
Never.
They play the same teams.
Never even mentioned that today, so I don't know what you're talking
Why
about.
does it have to be today?
Okay, so obviously he's going to be captain.
How is it capped?
When have I mentioned Ronaldo's goal tally being good?
All right,
All
who's
the
the better
time.
player?
You explain why he's the best.
international.
Who is the better player? Eze or Elise? We're going to do quick reveals. Three, 2, 1. Turn your boards. Oh, clean sweep. Jesus Christ. Mike, why?
I think he's just got more levels to his game. He could play in a lot more positions. Technically, he's phenomenal. So calm, so composed, creative as well. I mean, they both are. They're both phenomenal players, to be fair. But I think you'll get more from Eze than you can out of Elise.
Bud, you agree?
Yeah, and he's just closer to reaching higher, I guess.
At least they just signed for Bayern.
Right now, not like as in ability wise. I feel like he's closer to refining his game, and we're closer to seeing where he will
He's
look like.
older.
Yeah,
he's older,
but-
actually.
He's just had his 26th birthday.
Oh, 26. Shit. I thought it was 24.
No.
Let's go. Foden versus Bellingham. Who's the better player?
Better footballer,
The same question I just asked for Eze Elise. The
Alright.
same question.
because I did that one of better footballer.
You do whatever. I said better player. You can do better footballer if
better
you want.
player.
But the question is better player. Otherwise, we're going to do CR7 Hazard next.
You know which way I'm going.
Exactly.
That way, yeah.
3, 2, 1. All right, so we're all in agreement again. Samuel, why?
One, he's great at what he does. Jude, he's great at crushing the box. He's makes great late runs into the box, and he's a relatively good finisher for a midfielder. But this guy, for me, can do more. Even though Bellingham is a midfielder, this guy for me can do more in different positions. And if you want somebody to control the game and take over a game, it's Foden. But Jude is obviously great at what he does.
That's all we needed. All we needed. Let's start making these a bit harder. Pause.
If you said aura, that would have been different.
Yeah, Bellingham does
definitely
that.
would have been different. He said, "Who else?" That is one of the coldest celebrations I've ever seen.
Unbelievable.
Who the fuck else? He said.
hate that guy, bro.
It's cold.
In that
Let him.
moment,
They must
Let
think this guy's a goat.
Yeah, let him. I reckon let him.
he scored a fucking bicycle to save them.
Yeah, in the 90th. That was their first shot on target. Can you believe
I
that?
can't believe that.
What kind of performance is that?
Nah.
Prime Isco versus Prime Thiago. Who is the better player?
Silver? T
Wait.
Seals.
Alcantara.
Yeah, just for the TikTokers.
Because we got asked this. Oh, we should have done different. Oh, scratch that. Don't even answer it.
If Thiago in the question?
No. Prime Isco versus Prime James Rodriguez.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Who's the better player?
Oh, this is difficult because I think one's a better player, but one wins his team games.
Write it down.
Yeah,
Because you just
that's
put
what
Foden over
That's
Bellingham.
my thinking. But
Yeah, I
mine,
still think
mine's,
Foden wins his team games.
mine's clear for me.
3, 2, 1, turn. 3v1. Samuel's gone, James, everyone else. Isco, Bud, why?
I think for me, he passes the eye test more than Hammers. Not that I'm not saying Hammers is a bad player, but I think watching Isco levels to his game that I don't think Hammers quite has or had,
Mm-hmm.
even during his prime period. Without scoring a goal or assisting, he can affect the game
Yep.
more,
Absolutely.
and that's why I picked Isco.
He flies under the radar. He reminds me of Pastore, like
Yeah.
that type of like
Yeah.
under the radar but phenomenally talented. Can do anything,
Good shout.
pretty much. But
Yeah,
yeah, unbelievable.
I agree. I think James is more of a moment, and we remember all the moments that he had, but I don't think people can just remember good games James had without scoring, or remember performances versus certain teams that he had,
And,
minus the World Cup maybe.
and I think he put a lot of pressure on himself to get assists and goals as well.
And if the World Cup's his prime, if that's what you'd say, then I think Isco's a better player than that was.
The reason I went with Hummers, odd for me, but I just think prime for prime, I think Isco was great and definitely technically better and the all-round, like technically, yeah, a better footballer. But for me, Hummers, when he was at his best for Colombia and Madrid, I feel as though he was the game changer and he was the guy to win games, like, and make things happen. And I think technically he is great. Some of the goals that he scored, some of the things that he used to do, technically he is great, but Isco obviously different level. But yeah, I think just overall better player, I think James.
And you love GA as well, so
I don't. But I think
Tom's not going to fucking be happy with that.
yeah. I know.
Who is the better player?
Who's Tom?
At their best, Mahrez or Sadio Mane? I'll let you guys know who I put. First letter's M. Second letter's A. Guess the rest. Mr. Money.
I need to think of you.
Yep.
Thanks.
Love you forever. I'ma spend all my cheddar on you. Remember, my baby, my Jenna.
This is one of the toughest ones, I reckon.
3,
I've got an argument for this one.
2,
I think it's quite close.
1. We've gone 3 Mahrez, 1 Mane. Bud is backing Mane. Bud, go.
I think for me, a player who can switch between having a good performance without a goal and assist to easily switching it to having a good performance because he's had a goal and assist is Mane.
Oh, I thought you were just going Mahrez as well.
They both. This was a hard decision, but I think for me, I just feel like Mane for Liverpool was a big piece, and you got to see Liverpool without Mane, and they desperately like missed him. I feel like I'm not using the same example for City with Mahrez because it's different. But I feel like Mane's effect on games and teams proves like very like he's a vital piece. And I feel like had Mahrez been at Liverpool, I don't think he would have had the same effect. I think Mane can play in various positions as well. Striker, can drop in, can play wing. Mahrez, to me, excelled at one position. Really, really good at that. But I think if he had to play a different system, he might have been one of the players that was...
He played in the two most different systems of all time.
Yeah, I was gonna say his adaptability.
Not system in sense of City systems. I mean, going to another team.
Well, Leicester.
And he
Yeah.
was the
Where he was
best-
one
and
player of
he
the
won
year.
Player of the year.
Yeah,
That's
but
why. That's my only argument to why I think he's
That's
better.
exactly my whole
It's
argument.
because we
That's
saw
true,
him
that's
at
true.
a completely different system, at a team that was never tipped to do
One
anything,
player of the season.
be unplayable against the best team.
definitely, yeah.
At
And
a
it
level
was-
higher than
It wasn't just the
Sadio.
one season as well.
Yeah.
And Sadio was good at Southampton, but I think his level was higher at a worse team
Obviously, yeah.
comparable to.
And if you want to ask
Yeah.
yourself what Mane would have done at Leicester, he played for Southampton.
Yeah.
So one of them
It's
got player of the
different,
fucking
different, though.
season.
That's why I
He
didn't...
scored
That's why I didn't
17
want to put
goals.
Mahrez
He had
on
fucking
Liverpool
double-digit
versus Mane at
assists
City.
whilst being the best player on the fucking team.
And also,
It doesn't work like that.
it
for me-
works exactly like
for
that.
Nah,
me-
because that's why I didn't put Mahrez into Liverpool and be like, this is why.
Because they're not the same.
Exactly.
I'm
so
saying
it's not going to
Mane
work.
played for Liverpool.
But it's
he
not gonna
played
work.
for Southampton.
It's like a,
This
it's a
guy played for Leicester
hypothetical
and
that
played
would
for
never
City.
fit ever.
It's not a hypothetical. He played for Southampton.
That's tough though.
It's
not-
tough,
Southampton's
but-
not the same as
The way I look,
Leicester,
they're the same
bro.
level as Leicester.
Nah, not that year.
What do you mean that year? Of course they're not the same that year because this guy's playing for one of the teams.
But it wasn't just him.
Yeah,
Mane,
well, he
who
was
else
the best
okay.
player.
It wasn't just
all
him,
right,
bro.
but Mane also had Van Dijk at Southampton. He had he had other players. That went
you know
on
I
to
don't
play
like
for
Was it
Van
Van
Dijk,
Dijk.
Milinkovic Savic there? Was he there?
Tadic.
at the
They
time?
had-
Tadic, sorry.
They
Tadic.
had what's his
Tadic.
name, Schneiderlin. They
Schneiderlin.
had players.
They had Mitch's uncle.
They had Luke Shaw. They had a lot of
Wanyama.
players.
Yeah, they had a decent team.
Wanyama, yeah. I do think Mane though was more
Decent
unplayable.
Tadic, yeah.
I don't think so.
I think he was more unplayable.
Sadio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think
so.
it was harder to play
Yeah.
against. Than
I think
Mahrez
Prime Sadio is one of the toughest guys
to
to play against.
play against. He would be the toughest game.
Yeah. But I
Okay.
think Mahrez's level was
It's
just.
just too high.
I think it was just a
good.
bit
Who's
higher.
the better player all time? At their best, at their best,
Wait,
at their
wait.
best.
All time or
Yeah,
Prime?
like prime.
yeah, okay. So Prime.
Yeah, prime.
Okay.
Kante or Rodri? Three, two, one, turn. Samuel, 3v1.
I genuinely think right now Rodri's the best midfielder in the world, and I know there's other players like De Bruyne or whoever else people want to say, but I don't think that there's anybody who's been able to do what he can do from his position ever in the world. I don't think there is. He could play 6, he could play 8, and when City play, there's times where he's so high up the pitch, he's scoring goals. Not to say that scoring goals determines a good player, but for me in the world, I honestly think he's one in the conversation for best player in the world, and I think that it's
Yeah,
a fair conversation to be had. But also, for me, he's the best midfielder in the world, and I would take, if I could pick to have Rodri or Kante in my team at their best,
Right.
I would pick Rodri.
Fuck off.
Why?
At Kante's best, he went on a run of Leicester win the league,
He was
Chelsea
elite.
win the league,
He won Player of the Year.
France win the World Cup
Yeah.
in a row. Bang, bang, bang.
I agree.
In Rodri's prime, he
Champions
was
League
on the
as well.
bench for Busquets for Spain. In Kante's playing in Saudi,
He plays centre
starts
back.
for France.
He plays centre back for Spain
Yeah.
as well.
Kante's
Busquets.
he's nowhere near his prime. He starts for France, gets man of the match in 2 out of the 3 Euro
Him
games.
starting for France though is not.
Busquets was 35 benching Rodri.
Roger was playing centre back.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
yeah, but also so many players played out of position in Spain's squad in so many years before. Just because Iniesta didn't play in his natural position when Spain won countless tournaments.
Iniesta wasn't playing out of position because the player in his position was 35.
I know it wasn't 35, but the player in his position wasn't near his level.
Yes, he was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Who?
They had a
Xabi
midfield
Alonso.
of Xabi Alonso,
Yeah, I don't think
Busquets,
Xabi Alonso
and Xavi.
and for you especially,
And
called
Xa-
Xabi
yeah, I don't
Alonso
give a fuck
very
about Xavi, but that's just
overrated.
my
Xavi
bias
and
towards
Xabi
Xavi.
Alonso. You've called both
Yeah.
of them very overrated.
No, I think but that's my bias towards Xavi. You know that the world
But I'm
looks
saying
at Xavi as one of the
Deschamps
best midfielders
clearly
in the
has
world.
a bias towards Kante and
It's
playing
not a
him.
bias
It is a
towards
bias.
It's because
towards
he
Kante.
done it. He's
Okay,
done it every
yeah,
time
he
he
has
showed
done
up
it.
and
He
done
has
it.
done it. He has done it, but before
He can run a game by himself in a midfield 2 and play like there's 3 midfielders.
Yeah.
he can.
What?
No,
He
no
can, this
other-
guy runs so many games, countless games.
He does.
In what? In
I think
City,
there's a bit of
in
City.
the
does.
best
There's a
ball
bit of-
possession team
yeah,
in the
there's a bit
world.
of City
Has he not
tax.
been one of the best midfielders in this Euro? Just in
Yeah.
these Euros, you're talking about.
City,
you're talking
yes.
about. You're talking about Kante.
Yeah,
This
I'm
guy
talking
in
about
this
Kante.
Euros.
Yeah,
Yes.
Kante's fucking however old he is playing in Saudi. Kante in his prime is much more influential than Rodri. And I won't
like
hear
we
anything
just
else.
used Leicester.
Influential.
He won the league with Leicester.
Influential because he played in worse sides.
He played in teams that won the Prem. In their prime, Drogba or Benzema? In their prime. Obviously, if it was Korea, we wouldn't be putting Drogba in the comment, but
Started writing when you just said Drogba.
no, you didn't. I was watching you. You were waiting to hear who it was.
No, I wasn't.
Imagine if I said Diego Costa, you'd have been fucked.
No, I wouldn't. They both start with D.
Okay. 3. I'm open to being swayed, by the way. 3, 2, 1. Bud, go.
This may be pure bias.
It is. Regardless of if you think it or not, it is.
You said I wrote it before I even heard the other name. So obviously it's bias.
So that's my answer then.
Yeah.
This is biased.
Okay, Mike. Oh, I think it could be, and the argument is closer than you immediately writing Benzema.
Because I think,
I think it's closer, but
hear me out.
don't
I think
think so.
people pick Benzema like a certain style of striker. Like it attracts
They
the
do.
eye more.
they do. Yep.
So I think that's where the reason to picking Benzema is.
Mm-hmm.
If you want different types of like things from your striker,
Mm-hmm.
whereas involved more in the game, you'd pick Benzema.
Yep.
If you want more over there
Mm-hmm.
box,
Bully.
dominate that area, it's Drogba.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
that's
agree.
where it's like
Okay. Mike,
get
you
it.
agree with Bud?
Yeah, I think Bud's raised some good points. I also believe in terms of like finals, Drogba's up there with one of the best to when you need somebody to do something in the final, he's there.
Yeah.
I think he scored like nine goals in like 11 finals, something like that. I think whilst Benzema is top tier, he's probably like a top 10 striker in the last 20 years. I think Drogba, he gives you a bit more. Yes, he's physical, but I think Drogba is an elite level striker, an exceptional finisher. In terms of goal scoring, you can't argue that Benzema scores more goals because in his prime he was scoring like goals. Because I feel like people are going to use that more of an argument.
Fact check.
Yeah, he scored like
I'm gonna fact check how many
But,
Benzema scored.
it is prime.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
prime.
It's not all season.
I know.
If it's all season, it's Benzema.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, no, I know that.
But if it's
No, no.
prime, I'm taking Drogba personally.
Yeah. Fair enough. Samuel.
For me, the way I looked at it is they both carried their teams to win trophies at their best.
Mm-hmm.
I think Benzema carried Madrid to win that Champions League and league double. I think Drogba carried Chelsea at times to trophies. But for me, as a player, just
nearly
a
every trophy he's carried them though.
but we're talking about just prime,
Yeah,
right? We're not talking about
Mhm.
him in just finals.
yeah.
Yeah. So Benzema, if we're talking about Madrid in that season, I don't think I've ever seen a better run in a Champions League by a player. Other than that one season, he scored in every single knockout round, and then Yeah, he didn't score in the final, but they wouldn't have gotten past the freaking quarterfinals without him.
Real
Also-
Madrid wouldn't have.
Also,
They've
if we're saying prime,
And he literally got them past.
It's Madrid.
He got them past.
If we're
Chelsea.
saying
he got them
prime,
past.
and
Madrid
Benzema
City.
won the Ballon d'Or in his prime. Yeah, the Ballon d'Or's not the most credible thing, but you're not telling me that any Drogba season would be better than that Benzema season, like in terms of prime.
I think
27
You
goals.
That's
cannot
where-
say that
that's where it
Drogba
comes-
would have won the fucking Ballon d'Or ever.
But I think that's where it comes to player preference.
no, I
I
don't
think
think it is to do with that.
Drogba's goals,
It's not to
no
do with
matter
player
what,
preference.
I don't think could win him the Ballon d'Or. Like no matter how many goals he scored, I don't think he could have won the Ballon d'Or.
because he was never the best player.
But I think
That's why.
I think Benzema won the Ballon d'Or because yes,
Yeah,
his
but I
team
think
won.
Drogba already also played an era where he had prime Messi, prime Ronaldo.
Where strikers were
Guys,
like
I'm saying if
at
Drogba
a-
was to play in
you had
in
elite
Prime
strikers.
In
Like,
the
there
year
was elite
Benzema won the
strikers.
Ballon d'Or.
Can I just say,
There was-
Benzema, the year Benzema won the Ballon d'Or, he scored 27 goals in 32 games in the league, and he scored 15 goals in 12 games in Champions League that season. They
No,
won.
no, it's
and they
good.
won Champions
Don't
League.
say
It's good.
no, no,
they
it's
won
good.
Champions
It's
League. They won the league. And he scored 15 goals in Champions
But
League.
like I said at the start, I think it comes down
He
to
also had 12
player-
assists in the league.
I think
What were
we're not.
Drogba's stats?
He had scored 30 goals
32
his best.
30,
30. I think
yeah, 30,
I thought it was
30,
30
or 31. He
I thought it
scored.
was 31.
Yeah.
But in that run, it's because he played like we saw that he played good.
But 15 goals.
That's
in-
why
in
you were
12
like
Champions
you
League
would
games
you,
is
you would
tap.
see it. As
No,
like
I think it's too
better.
hard. I think it
And
is
I think he's a
Benzema
better-
because of that Champions League.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Drogba was a fucking bully, and at his best, he was like he's
He
unplayable.
was great.
But
and,
you,
and technically
even
he was
if you
good.
just you took Drogba from his best season and you put him in that year
Yeah.
where Benzema did all that, you cannot say Drogba's better than Benzema.
I don't know. I think,
Yeah.
Because
I think in
strikers
his
are
prime seasons,
yeah.
Benzema's had a better season.
but it
But
was.
if I'm taking to win this final, I'm taking Drogba.
But
That's how I'm answering.
Okay.
Don't you
think
think
that's a
it's a
fair
bit?
enough
It's a
answer.
bit because strikers back then, so many to pick from. Whereas when Benzema's when he won Ballon d'Or,
I really
it was
don't-
a scarce position.
How many strikers do you think
There
you could
weren't
put
that many
that have had
elite.
any season of
Suarez.
all time up
There weren't
against?
that many elite.
that Benzema
year,
season.
Suarez,
There's
you
not
know,
that
but
many.
You're saying why
there
is
isn't
it
that
a striker doesn't have to win Ballon d'Or? You're
Yeah, I
making
know,
a
I know.
striker argument.
No, but I'm saying he flourished more, or because
Yeah.
there wasn't that many
He f-
around at the time.
He flourished more because every game they needed him to play in
Yeah,
and
nah, he
score.
was
He
good.
scored.
Benzema's had a
It's
better
not an
prime
argument.
season.
Nah, Drogba all day, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'd
obviously.
pick Drogba for one, like a final. I'm picking Drogba.
If Drogba played for my club, I might say Drogba. But if he didn't,
it
then
depends.
I'm not saying
It
Drogba.
depends. Season, it depends.
In that same season, Mbappe scored 28 goals and 17 in the league. So if you want to talk about competition,
28 goals.
17 assists in 35 games.
I think the final
Which is
winning
sick. Is
is
sick.
what got him the thing though.
What?
The Ballon d'Or. Him
Yeah,
winning the final.
definitely.
They also won the league.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have won Ballon d'Or because of the league.
Not
Yeah,
necessarily.
not necessarily,
But
but he
That's
was
what
a
I'm saying.
double.
It's because he
But
got
he was
the
pivotal.
final.
In both.
But if they just won the Champions League and they flopped in the league, I don't know if he would have won as well.
Yeah, I agree.
he was
Yeah,
pivotal.
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
But he's the
Winning-
reason. It's not like somebody else was the reason they won. He was the reason, the main reason.
I mean in it's easy when there's only one other team that
What are
friggin'
you
presses
saying
you in
now?
the league.
What? They won the Champions League.
I'm saying the league.
And they
the
knocked
league.
out
Yeah.
Chelsea.
I'm saying there's only
They
one
knocked
team.
out your
It's
team.
easy to win
They
the
knocked
Liga.
out- okay,
I'm
well,
saying
they-
it's easy to win La
Nah,
Liga
look.
when there's one team.
They
It was
knocked
the
out.
league.
They beat City.
They
But
beat
have
City.
one
and
the
They
he
beat
scored
Liverpool.
three.
You have
Yeah,
two
he
hard
beat
games.
City and he
in-
scored 3.
You have two hard games.
They beat
One
Liverpool.
in-
He scored
Two
3.
intermediate games. The rest easy.
They beat Chelsea. He scored 2.
You would lose every
was a
game.
bad
You would
Chelsea
lose every game. to
They won the
Atletico
Champions
in the
League
league.
the year before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they beat PSG.
Yeah.
They beat
yeah.
PSG,
Yeah, Chelsea,
Chelsea, Liverpool,
City.
City.
Oh, we got robbed that year.
This is hard,
He's-
guys. Thank you for watching.
I was gonna say we should do best Robin CB. Like say there's the Batman, and who's the Robin's best Robin CB?
That's
All
a
right,
good
great question. Who is the best second centre back of all time? The best
Yeah.
Robin to someone's Batman?
Of
The-
all time.
Yeah. So they cannot be the best centre back.
Yeah, they
In their-
can't
in
be
their
the best
partnership.
of the two. And
What
don't
about-
say Nesta or fucking.
Can you
don't
say?
give me that
Can
shit.
you say? Is it they've never been the best of the two
No, they weren't the best
at their best?
of their best.
Oh,
At their
okay,
best,
done.
they
Yeah.
weren't the best centre back,
So you
but
c-
they're the best centre back of the two centre backs.
Can I say they weren't rated? Like people wouldn't say they were the best.
You can't think that they're better than the other centre back they're partnered with.
Oh, okay.
They have to be.
Right.
It has to be clear that they're number 2.
Yeah, I got
And
mine.
then all the number 2s. Who's the best of the number 2s?
I've got mine.
Yeah,
Of the one
exactly.
2s.
Exactly.
Mine's
So who's the best B centre back?
Yeah.
Who's the best Robin
Not
to
best-
the Batman?
Yeah, not just best.
So if Batman's, this is just an example. If Batman's VVD, then Matip is Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so who's the best?
Maldini and thing is a good one. Maldini and whatever his name.
Nestor.
Yeah.
I can't count.
Maldini was left back though.
Yeah, and
when
they're
they
both
messed us
they're
with
both also been Batman.
All right. Does this work?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
is
that works. That's
okay,
perfect.
okay.
Yeah, that's
I
a
thought he
perfect
was
answer.
like too.
No, that's
Okay,
a perfect
okay.
answer. Okay, let's do it.
Did MJ put Dimichelis?
Did Mangala
Kill him?
The worst signing ever.
Equilibrium Mangala?
Oh.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll do it.
Oh. What's his name? Do you got one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got
I
one.
might have to change mine just because I don't know the other guy's name.
I think Chalaba only has one O. in it.
He's right back, bro. Sorry.
Easy for me, yeah.
Done.
Saliba.
Oh, Gabriel, yeah, true.
He's not the best of all time.
He's the Robin though.
3.
Should
He's
we-
the Batman. He's the A centre back.
Gabriel's the A.
Yeah.
Only now, not to everyone as well.
Nah,
Okay.
he was always the A.
Yeah.
Nah, Saliba was
Not
the A
always.
last season.
He
Saliba
was the
became
A.
the A, but then
Saliba
they
was the A
realised-
last season.
No,
He's
he
the-
wasn't
the
the
type
Not
of
the season that
centre
just
back,
happened.
he's
No,
the
no,
A.
the type. But we're talking about the best one and then the one who's not as
So
good.
are we saying who's the A
It's
centre
not
back?
who's
and
the most dominant aerially and strength wise.
I'm not saying that, but who's the leader centre back?
Like-
and who's the other? Who's
like-
the helper?
like for me?
Who's the helper?
Yeah, okay.
yeah, Gabriel's
You know
the
what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
Gabriel's
what
the
I-
helper.
No, he ain't.
He's Saliba's
Gabriel's
helper.
the guy,
Nah,
and Saliba's the
That's not-
cover.
Nah,
That's
Saliba's
not
the
what we
helper.
said end of season.
Saliba's the helper.
What?
That's not what
Yeah,
we said end of
Saliba's the
season.
helper.
Who
Exactly.
said that?
No, I
I'm
mean
saying
Gabriel's the
majority,
helper.
Not just us.
Yeah,
I'm saying
Gabriel's the
end of
helper.
that season.
Guys,
everyone said
Gabriel's the helper.
Saliba was one.
Last season they did.
Yeah.
Everybody else is Saliba's.
Yeah.
Yeah, they think that.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
So,
it's like T. Silves and Marquinhos. Marquinhos is the helper.
in fucking, of course,
Yeah.
that's not comparable to.
But
what
it's not
Gabriel
about
does.
it's not about play style. One is the better one and one's the helper.
If we're just
That's
saying,
what it is.
If we're just saying who's the better centre back of
Yeah,
the
the
two,
better one's the Batman and then the worst one's the Robin.
So of Romero and Van der Ven, who's the A centre back now?
I would say Van. I don't know who's better because that doesn't count. We said
So
outside.
who's the A?
But this is about nobody being the.
Yeah, but you
this is
know,
about no one thinking that.
you
one
know
could be
who is
the
an
other.
A and who is the B. You know deep down. You just
Well,
don't
right.
wanna say.
I do think Romero's better than Van der Ven right now.
Who is the
So
A centre back?
Romero's A.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, but PK and Puyol, who's the A?
The A is Puyol.
But PK's better than Puyol.
Yeah, but the A centre back is Puyol, and PK is the
I don't
the
think
other
that-
guy.
I don't think that
Yeah,
can
it
be-
is. No, after when Puyol got old,
Yeah,
PK
old.
was the A centre back. But
No,
we're
but
saying
it-
when PK came
that's
to
Captain
PK and
Tax, though.
Mascherano. Yeah, who's the A?
No,
and
that was-
PK,
yeah.
yeah,
But that's
But-
Captain Tax for Puyol.
It's not Captain Tax. It's not-
Mascherano,
it was.
Mascherano's the one who gets
No.
stuck in. He's the guy between PK and Mascherano. He was the one that got stuck in.
So when Vidic was at his best and he was winning Player of the Year, who was the A centre back and who's the B centre back? So Rio was the A centre back. At that time,
No,
even
well,
when Vidic was winning Player of the Year.
Well,
so
obviously
when he
there's
was
not
clearly
one.
the better
Obviously
player,
there's not one.
Ferdinand
Obviously
was the
there's not one.
No,
Not
he
every
was,
team
and that's
has
the
one.
Yeah,
consensus.
not everyone has an A and
We
a
just
B.
said
Every
Milan
team
didn't
has
have
an
one.
A and a B.
Yeah,
No,
I
but
don't think
we
every
just
team
agreed
has
that
an A.
Milan
and a-
didn't
I don't
have
think
one.
every
Name
team
me
has
one-
an A and a B.
They did have one.
Nah.
Maldini wasn't a centre back. I don't
Nah,
know why
but
you
I'm
think-
saying like
I
it
don't
was
think every
too
team though
hard
has an A and a
to-
B. It
to
has
be like
to have
A,
A,
B.
A and a B for an amount of time. There's time where there's two elite centre backs like that.
there isn't a centre back partnership where there's not A and there's not a B. There isn't one.
It's not always clear.
You can tell
So
me.
that's why it's
tell me
not-
any centre back
But
partnership you
then
want.
it's not Batman and Robin anymore. It's not
But
Batman
is the
and Robin
B.
anymore. Yeah, but it's not Batman and Robin anymore.
Yeah. It's
But
not,
something else.
it's not Batman and Robin.
What?
Because Robin is a sidekick.
I said A and the B.
Yeah.
Okay, so in every centre back partnership, do you agree there's an A and a B partnership? there's an A and
No.
there's a B.
I don't agree.
Tell me one good centre back partnership where there's not an A and a B.
Arsenal.
No, it's Gabriel
But
is
we're
the A.
arguing it though.
No, but you're just
That's why it
arguing
makes
it
it
because you
doesn't-
think it's
it's
Saliba.
not- it's
You
not me
also
arguing
think
it
Saliba
because-
is the A. So
I think Saliba.
so it's you're not saying that there's no A and B. You think Saliba's the A.
No, but now you're also arguing that it's not. You're giving
No,
good
I'm not.
points why
I do
it's-
think-
You said that there's
But
some
I'm not
centre
just
back
saying this is
partnerships.
my. It's
Yeah,
my.
I was
it's
going
not
to say
just
that
mine.
Arsenal's is the
What?
best. Probably
You said
right
that
now.
there's centre back partnerships where
Where
there's
there's-
no A and B, but then you said
No, not
Saliba was
all
the
of-
A before.
Now you're saying there's none that are.
I just
Yeah,
think,
I agree. There's
and
none.
I'm saying there's some that are still
There's not.
like this.
There's not.
Yeah.
There's everyone knows that there's an A. Exactly that Vidic and Ferdinand argument is why there's an A and a B because Vidic was clearly the
Yeah,
better
I do
player.
think Ferdinand.
But
If I'm being
Ferdinand was
honest,
the
I
A.
think Ferdinand is the A.
Yeah.
I do think
That's
Ferdinand
what
is the
I'd say.
A.
Yeah.
But I don't think that makes Gabriel also the A.
No, I'm just saying that there's always an A and a B.
Yeah, because I think
Regardless
Gabriel's
of-
yeah, but I think Gabriel's style is more similar to Vidic in the pair.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but Vidic was the B still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You think Vidic was a B? Fair enough.
yeah, and I think Ferdinand was the A.
Yeah.
So I thought Gabriel was better than Saliba last season, but I still think he's the B center
Okay.
in the pair.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
I knew because someone would have had that.
Yeah.
I had Pepe before.
Yeah,
but-
Tay, you've had an man. What? That's a nostalgia pick.
yeah, that's fucking elite.
Because he could have picked Boateng or
Yeah.
This is
Benatia,
throwback.
and the answer would have been the
Also-
same.
Also, he could have picked Bonucci.
I was gonna say Chiellini.
Chiellini's the A. Bonucci's the B. Chiellini's the A.
So you think Gabriel is the B, but you think Chiellini is the A.
Chiellini was always the A, except for at the end when Bonucci became the best.
I agree.
Bonucci
No, I
was
agree.
the ball playing
Chiellini-
centre back.
Yeah, yeah,
Nah,
he
but
was.
Chiellini was always
the
A,
let's go
bro.
win
He
the
was the
ball.
ball-playing
So how
centre
the fuck is Gabriel
Nah, but
the B?
Chiellini
It's
was
not about-
A.
for me, it's
Hey,
not about
Chiellini was
play
A at
style.
sometimes.
It doesn't have to be the play style. Doesn't have to be
Yeah.
the same as someone else.
Yeah.
Someone else.
I
that's
know
an A.
that, but
Yeah.
Bonucci
Look at
is
Dante, for example.
was the
This is
the
throwback.
better of the two centre
is-
backs.
you don't
at his
know ball.
best.
Chiellini was the best
You
centre
don't
back
know
in the
ball.
world. People said he was the best in the world.
Bonucci was the
I
best
think
centre
Chiellini was
back
the
in the world.
leader, the everything
His
that
teammate
made
got
him the
twisted
A.
up like a pretzel.
I think so.
Bonucci at their best, when they were the best partnership, Bonucci was the A centre back.
No,
and
he wasn't.
Chiellini
He
was
wasn't.
the.
Nah,
I
I
think
disagree.
Bonucci
was the old man
I
who
think
went and
Bonucci was the
win
better.
the
I think
ball.
Bonucci was the better player when they were
Yeah.
they were
The A centre
and
back
B.
doesn't pull someone by the shirt like
That's
this.
not
Pull
when he
their
was
neck
his
That's
best.
back.
aura.
They
That's
don't
called
do
aura,
that.
bro.
They don't do
He
that.
was
That's
like
called aura.
37.
They don't do that.
You know who's
though.
another good B centre back? Miranda. At
Yeah,
his best, he's
Miranda's
a great
good
B centre back.
That is a terrible B.
But that's what I'm saying.
This
Godin
is-
wasn't
this
as.
is-
yeah.
That's
this
a
is-
terrible.
no,
That's
ball.
terrible. No,
This
that's
is you
terrible.
don't know ball.
No,
Charles.
That's terrible.
That's a
Because
let
the
me
A
just
got
pick
twisted
someone
up
who
by
was good in
Petru.
FIFA
Matip's
for
better,
1
Matip's
year.
better than
The A's a meme.
than this guy.
That's a FIFA centre back.
The A's a meme.
Gabriel's
bro.
better than
No.
Dante.
Any centre back is better
That's
than
what I'm saying.
Dante.
Gary Cahill had his best.
Finish
Yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't gonna say.
yeah. What do you mean? Yeah, he is. Then you
Then
could
why
have just
didn't you
picked
write it?
Cahill.
No, but this is more. I said this is
Marquinhos
not
at his
my-
best is better than Dante.
Of
Why are
course.
you guys?
Kimpembe
keep
is
listening?
Kimpembe
Yeah.
at his best is better than
Yeah.
Dante.
Why you guys keep listening?
Varane
is
is clearly better than
Mum's life
Dante.
is not. Mum's
Varane's
life.
not better
Nah,
than Dante.
I heard everything else. Varane.
Varane
Mum's
with
life is not.
Ramos.
Varane next to
Nah,
Ramos.
Varane's
Varane
not
next
a
to
better
Ramos
centre back
was
than
not
what?
better than him.
If Varane's not better than
What?
Dante, we can have a comment
You
about
are-
that.
You talk so much nonsense. It's
Nah,
not
Varane's
funny.
not better than
Samuel
Dante.
Umtiti
I
at
heard
his
every
best
other
better
one.
than Dante.
I heard every other one.
Umtiti is better than Dante.
At his best.
Look, I'll hit every other one, but Varane's not
Mascherano
landing.
also better than Dante.
better than
No.
No. Is he better than one of the best 3 centre backs ever to live? Is that what you're asking?
You think anybody could that's Ramos has ever played with is better than
Talk to
Ramos?
your boy.
No chance.
Talk to your boy because he just asked if Pepe is better than Ramos.
Fuck no. You guys just were slandering this when I said it's just a mean pick.
It doesn't need to be that.
Well,
big.
he's just the
He's the B.
Robin.
Pepe's the B. He's the B next
Pepe
to
was
Ramos.
arguably Carvalho's B at Madrid.
Yeah.
Arguably.
He probably was.
Yeah.
When Ramos was playing right back, Carvalho was the main centre back.
That he
Pepe
was
the B.
the
Yeah.
main centre
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
He was. Carvalho was the A at
But
Madrid.
you're
but
obviously
you're
going
saying
Carvalho
next to
Terry.
Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the B.
Chelsea.
Of course.
Yeah.
But this answer's got to be the worst.
That's a
answer
great
I've seen.
question. Well
This
done.
is-
And
this
you've done.
is-
You
this
came up
is
with the
just
best
good.
question and worst answer.
Even you want to
My
do
answer's not. This is not
You wanna
based off who the best
Yeah.
B.
You want
This
to
is
do
just
even
like
Brazilian
me.
ones?
Question was the best
We can
thing.
even do
Yeah, but
Brazilian
I had
ones.
Pepe.
Question.
I had Pepe as well, so I just
Brazilian
rubbed
ones.
it out.
Juan, better than
Go
Dante.
back and look at the
Juan
the
next
video.
to Lucio, better than Dante.
Go back and look at the video. I had Pepe.
Vertonghen or
Vertonghen,
Alderweireld,
yeah,
whichever
Alderweireld was the
whichever one you
B,
want.
But yeah,
Like I said, I let them all land, but Varane.
Alderweireld is the B next to
Yeah,
Vertonghen.
it's all around.
He's the B.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Vertonghen's the A.
Yeah,
And
Vertonghen's
Vertonghen's the Gabrielle of the
No, he's
relationship.
not.
Yes,
There's
he
one
is.
A and there's
Nah,
one
he
B.
is.
It's
He
not
is.
about-
He
no,
is.
there's one.
He is.
There's Saliba is the A. There's one A and there's one B.
No, he's
but
not
the
A.
A
Based-
it
based
doesn't
off
have. It's not
22,
based off
23.
play style, and it's not based
I
off
know,
who's
I know.
always better.
It's not based off
But
play style.
Saliba is
And it's
the
not
A.
based off who's always better. It's based off who is the leader in the back line.
Saliba's the A.
It's
guys.
not
Come on,
Saliba.
He's the A. It's not a dis. It's not a dis.
I think that's a big part of.
no, he's
Of
not.
course
Ramos
he's
is
not.
captain.
Of course, he's fucking not more of a leader than Ramos. Look at him. He's just
Dante's
shaking
the
his
worst
head. He's just shaking his head at Mitch. He doesn't even want to back you. That's awful. That's a great question, bud.
It
Well
was a
done.
great question, but you did it fair.
Like, share, subscribe, comment. Thank you for watching.